No, it happened in 2010 with a friend of mine, Meelis Süld, who used to be a radio journalist and now is a Lutheran pastor in London, UK. We decided to start a web page for people who are Christians and who belong to sexual minorities as well. So we wanted to register the domain and found out that the domain can be registered only for a legal person. So that you have to have a legal body. You cannot register a domain as a private person. The law changed very soon. So after a few months we could do it very well. And so we decided that, okay, let's do the non-government organization, non-profit Estonian Gay Christians. That was really the sole purpose of doing the NGO at this time. And when we were already all done, registered, and hadn't started with any activities yet, people who were organizing the Human Rights Conference, Erinevus rikastab, this diversity enriches. There was a series of conferences. Invited us to send a speaker to the conference, and I went there. And of course, the programs were published, and our conservative pastors and also the bishop's office found out that I was representing such an organization as Estonian Gay Christians. And then, without discussing me or anything, they just defrocked me, which means that my rights to do any services or rights in the Lutheran Church were taken away. So that was kind of a surprise, because we hoped that we will be able to start some kind of theological dialogue or to represent as a legal body other Lutheran Christians, and not only Lutheran Christians. It was not a denominational organization with some kind of authority given by people who were both Christian and gay. So, but we were totally dismissed and declared as enemies of the church, which was unfortunate. We were not actually, but nobody ever talked, nobody ever asked anything. They just got the information and did it. Oh, there are so many different religious perspectives. No, Christianity as well, because there are Catholics and there are Orthodox Christians who see marriage as a sacrament, tainstvo in Russian, sacrament, which is one of the 7 sacraments. Lutherans all over the world, as many other Protestants, and since Luther's time, marriage has been seen as a contract between 2 individuals, even not the families or anything, but Luther, Reformator himself, saw marriage as something belonging to this world, so no eternal value or significance for marriage. And just as a relationship and contract, legal contract, between two individuals. And at the time of Luther, marriage contract was done outside of the church, in front of the church doors. And then the wedding ceremony, or the blessing of the marriage, happened in church in front of God and congregation. So therefore, for Protestant Christians, there is no problem to have a equal marriage. Oh, it should be not only for everyone as a social issue, but also in church. And many Protestant churches all over the world are already performing weddings for, say, couples of same gender. So certainly, yeah, absolutely. Yes, they should, because the opposite, not accepting marriage equality, leads to discrimination of sexual minorities. And the history of discrimination is pretty cruel. Even in 20th century, what was done and still is done in so many countries is horrible. Was horrible, and it's not only seeing these people as less valued, but also like disabled or criminals. We know that even in Estonia, until the end of Soviet Union, according to Soviet law, sexual intercourse between two men was a criminal offense, and that's ridiculous. That's horrible. In Estonia, the matter of fact is that none of the Estonian Christian denominations belonging to the Estonian Council of Churches accepts gay people and equal marriage, or even the partnership, civil partnership. And that's bad enough. At the same time, in Finland, in Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Germany, Netherlands, everywhere we are accepted as having full rights to marry, and the weddings are performed in churches. It's also comforting us here that we know that we are not those who are wrong, but our church leadership and the public opinion in churches. This is changing, of course, slowly but surely. So people in congregations and by many clergy members or pastors, in other words, the gay people are accepted. But of course, that's it. The official doctrine and the church laws are different. That's a very complicated issue, and it's not so easy to ask. Now, if I say something, it's just my opinion and nothing else. No, I think it comes from the wrong interpretation of certain passages in the Bible, and not willing to interpret and understand the Bible in the way in all other as it is understood and interpreted in all other issues. And I think the other side of the hatred and hostility comes from secrecy and shame involved in just talking about sexual activities in general. Also, of course, concerning male homosexuality, there are also certain power dynamics because no, the male domination is something what just the existence of gay men are challenging and questioning. There are many reasons. How to overcome educating people. I believe in education and educating people about Bible, about psychology, history, everything. Just ECRE is. I don't see ECRE as political party, neither conservative nor national or far not religious movement, but they are playing on with all these cards. And actually, what they are doing, no, is just following authoritarian leaders, and they are proud to be like Donald Trump, and they don't say it so loud here, but they are copying all the conversation points of Vladimir Putin as well. So it's why there is populism. I think it's not the theme of this discussion and interview here, but I would categorize all these actions and the demonstrations or whatever as the activities of populist politicians misusing and abusing the lack of knowledge among people. Definitely, it has nothing to do with Christian love, the most important principle of Christianity. Oh, it depends on person, of course. There is wall-to-wall attitudes. Depends on person. There are very supportive colleagues, former colleagues. I'm not a pastor already for 13 years. Estonian Council of Churches makes its decisions by consensus principle. So if one member of the council, either Baptist or Catholic or Orthodox, is against, they cannot agree. It's not just the majority principle, but consensus, the consensual, so that every member of the council has to agree. But why there are things like conservatism, populism, and all kinds of reactionary attitudes in the society right now, that's a good question, but I'm not sure I'm able to answer that. But that belongs to the church. Is always very conservative and always keeps the traditions alive. But the church was representing during the Soviet occupation here the old good times when Estonia was free, and the politics were much more humane, and the world was open. This was at the time when I joined the church in 1980. And unfortunately, what I can see now is that church is back in Soviet times. you cannot see the attitudes anywhere around the church or churches in the society, especially young generation has gone far beyond all of that. But church leadership is just keeping this. They don't realize what they are doing. That not what they say or declare, but how they behave. Actually, what they do is telling whom and what kind of politics they are representing. That's all I can give as an explanation. Church is conservative, but it's always like a line drawn into water. Where is this border between keeping tradition and becoming what to say, not betraying the most important principles of the tradition. So if we look at any churches at any time, we have to admit that the church is not only religious, but very much socio-political and cultural institution. And it absorbs through its members the spirit of its time, always. And church has changed a lot, and the most important things have remained the same, but people serving the church have not always followed and taught this. But if we look at church history, there will be many surprises what the churches have done in the history. We don't want to know it. Yeah, but first I see him as a madman, not a representative of the church. But I think the members of the leaders of any church and regular members also should be aware that any word of them in the hands and heads of madmen can become deadly. So they don't say that go and kill, but if they really reject and if they talk about sinfulness and everything bad about gay people, it opens the door to crimes like that. So they find justification. Because these instincts, these animal instincts to destroy everything what's different exist all the time, and culture and religion, I think, are the structures what should set the limits and say that what is acceptable and what is not. But unfortunately do it in the wrong areas. They say that, oh, sexuality is a thing. But actually the hostility, xenophobia are much worse problems in the contemporary world. And I would say that churches, as the leadership are representing them, are doing so many what is called substitute activities, or substituting dealing with real hard issues like xenophobia and hatred and aggression and even let's say high divorce rate, hunger and racism. They go and they hit gay people, as if this would solve any problems in the world. It isn't. And well, it's harmful too. They put themselves into the long row of people who discriminate. That's American golden sentence. That's not the problem at all. There are multiple examples of gay love and attraction between the people of same gender. And we shouldn't ever forget that at the time of the Bible, there was no such a thing, not such a category as homosexual people. It is an invention of 19th century. And all the hostility, not all, of course, it has always existed, and in Middle Ages people were punished cruelly for homosexual behavior. One Jewish lady said to me very well, people always want to hate something and somebody. It just is always there. But Sodom and Gomorrah is just a completely wrong interpretation, because the sin of the townspeople was not homosexuality, but the lack of hospitality. So I would say that if you are here showing a lack of hospitality toward gay people coming to your church, you are committing the sin of Sodom. But these some of these popular interpretations are so widespread and written into stone that it's hard to fight them. But I repeat what I said already: education helps. Study Bible more and study Bible better. Find out what it is all about. It's all about love, acceptance, forgiveness, mercy, and it's not controlling people's sexual life. It's not an issue of Christianity, what you do in your bedroom. No, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be legal, because equal marriage in Estonia is already legal. It has been decided that equal marriage means that we are equal in everything, and that's the action of that kindergarten or the kindergarten teacher was clearly illegal and just rude. As safe as it can be. Attacks can happen everywhere. In country like Norway, we know what happened a few years ago on the island where the young social democrat people were. There is no such a thing as 100% safe space in the world. But I would say, yes, it is one of the safest. Because a general population in Estonia really, in my experience, don't care what you do, and it's more unacceptable to be interested and to be dealing with other people's private lives and making a big deal out of it than doing something different at home. I don't know about Narva, because it's so far and it's different language and culture there. But
Okay, about Estonia.
I don't see any difference between the towns, really, because Estonia has become so homogeneous, because people like myself are working in one end of the country and working on the other end. Estonia has become just one big suburb, and we are very mobile, and it doesn't mean anything either. We are living in a village or in the city. We're living very similar lives, and No, I don't see any difference. Of course, if we are talking about generational attitudes, Tartu has much higher percentage of young population, of course, and as we know that young people are much more tolerant and accepting, according to all the polls and statistics. So that may be there more young people you have, there more tolerancy there, but I wouldn't say that in Viljandi or in Võru people are not kind and accepting, or that I don't see any problem. You can live as a gay couple in any city or village in Estonia. I'm living in a deep south of Estonia in a small village of 300 people, and everybody knows who I am because I've become such a media star, you know. And I was a local pastor there in Valga just 14 years ago, and in this county everybody knows who I am, and I have a partner who is living most of the time in America, but he comes and lives with me every year, 2 + 2 months. People are very friendly, and they really don't care what kind of relationship we are in. They know it, of course, but I haven't seen any signs of not being accepted. Or absolutely, yeah, sure. It's unconditional. God's love is unconditional, and gender identity. These are should not ever be the questions of faith in general. That's just going the wrong direction if you are making a big deal out of this. Even more so now we know that the research, scientific research has shown that you cannot change it. Even if you choose to change, you can't. It's given. And to hate somebody how he has been created and what kind of life to him or her or them has been given is unchristian.